Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, one of the many things that I'm proud of is that I am, in the words of Teddy Roosevelt, in the arena. You know, you have these newscasters, news reporters, journalists, news anchors, radio commentary, so forth and so on. And so many of them aren't actually doing something. They're in the news game, but they're not on the ground floor. They're not out there making things happen. I like that I'm a doer. I'll always be a doer. I'm a man of action. But you know what? By doing so, you have a perspective unlike anybody else. It's like the politician who's a career politician. They lose a perspective. The story that I'm about ready to tell you is true. And it involves a case that recently came to Deters Law. And you can't make this up. And I think it is symbolic of, indicative of what's been going on in this country around COVID. Now, I want to preface, before I tell you this story that shows how outrageous these hospitals are, I want everybody to know that on our side of this COVID debate, don't try to spin it on us. Everyone on my side of the debate acknowledges that COVID does exist. We also all acknowledge that if you get COVID, you may get varying degrees of sick. We also know that if you are high risk, you are a greater risk of dying than someone who isn't. We also know that children don't get it very much. But you know what? We know from the statistics, even though it's sad that some people have died from COVID, that statistically, you don't die from COVID. It's rare. It's a low percentage. And therefore, we think the lockdowns and all of the rules have been a bunch of bullshit. Now, if you don't think it's a bunch of bullshit, here's a true story. We got contacted from a Durrani client relative to his mother dying in the hospital. And he wanted us to review the facts. What have we found out? Well, we found out that the hospital in the tri-state area damn near and actually did kill his mother, including dropping her. Dropping her. They freaking dropped the mother. Do you know what this hospital did? You can't make this up. During the whole course of treatment during the crisis, when they killed the mom, or they were slowly killing the mom, or it was clear she was going to die from her injuries, you know what this tri-state hospital did? They kept testing her for COVID over and over and over and over again. And every test was negative. In summary, and I'm going to interview this family. In summary, the hospital, through medical malpractice, killed this woman. And then they start searching for the COVID excuse. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, how often do you think that's gone on throughout this country? In the past year, hospitals and doctors are using the COVID excuse to cover up deaths to malpractice. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, if you think the death of your loved one is suspicious and they are trying to blame COVID, I encourage you to have that checked out. Do not take their word for it. Hospitals will cover up medical malpractice. And this year, it looks like COVID is the option. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope you have a wonderful day.